yeah! All you late nighters. Oh, this is not really late to me. But it might be to you. Come on in. As we broadcast live by the banks of the Southern Broad River. Time to kick a week off. Last week sucked in some way. We're going to grab it. It felt too hard for you, I'm sorry. Not that that's the hard word, but something's not too bad at it. Get over it. That's what it was. It's going to be a good week, so we're going to kick it. Better believe it. We're going to kick it. We're going to kick it off right now. Well, we kind of kicked it off this morning. Nothing has went as planned for the last 4 days, 5 days, something like that in my life. But we are making up time. Good evening, Dave in the AM. Typically, this is called the SFP News Desk. Usually airs at 9. I'm a little late getting in. I was trying to set up some behind-the-scenes stuff, and I've just been busy with other things, like my wife being in the hospital. So she'll be moving to rehab tomorrow. Pray for her. And we are hopeful to get her back home soon. Not that she wants to go. She needs to go. And I have had my belly full, absolute belly full of dealing with people I feel like are talking down to me. Absolutely a belly full. You know how just people talk to you like you act like you don't know anything, like you're stupid. That's the way I've been feeling. I've been striking back. I've had enough. What was the old movie Falling Down? Not striking back like that, but you get the meaning. Oh my goodness, that's the way the world. You know, I always go back to that's the way the world. People tell us that the world looks at us Americans. I don't care. I don't care what the world says. Never have. Just do not care. Everybody concerned. If you're an American and you care about what the world says, get over it. I mean, seriously. You can never please the world. You can never please the crowd. You can never please those who hate you anyway. I mean, they're going to try to, yeah. Bless you, sassy kitten. Yeah, well, she's not even got to rehab yet. I mean, they're talking down to us. How about talk a little bit about that? I was so mad yesterday. I left to go to work for a mental health break. Think about that. Going to work for a mental health break. Before I said something I was going to be absolutely probably in trouble for. It's just had enough. It's like, shut up. I mean, you know, and they try to defend and not deflate. Well, they deflated them. All those words. Doesn't matter. If I say I'm wrong, you know what I mean. Oh my goodness. People talking to you like you're like, and then, you know, they're playing the old game. I feel like it's like the mafia or something, you know, it's like they're coming to offer you something, they're going to make you an offer you can't refuse. And when you refuse, then they want to play hardball with you, you know. Oh my gosh. I said, your delivery sucks. Don't talk to me like that. I was so mad. Oh my goodness. My poor wife down there. I'm gonna tell you what. There's a lot of things in this world I can look over. I might not like it. I can look over it. I can just bite my tongue and move on. I can just not say a word. But when it comes to my wife or my kids or grandkids, you better back up. That's my job. We're not letting you sit there and scold, because that's what it was, a scold job, you know. Well, since you decided not to do this, we're doing this. Who do you think you people are? Who do you think you are? Who is laying in the bed That may be nothing to you but a number, but that's something precious to me. How dare you talk to them like that? How dare you talk to me like that? My God. That's healthcare is great unless you need it, right? I don't care how good I don't care how good they are. I don't care how trained they are. I don't care of their level of their knowledge or whatever. If your bedside manner sucks, it just sucks. Call it for what it is. And I've been dealing with that. You front desk keepers, the heck with you too. You know what? I'm just not going to take it. I appreciate you got a job, but come on, work with me here. I've just been fired up. I ain't been this mad in a long time. But it's going to be okay. It's absolutely going to be okay. Within a few years ago with my mom, argued, fought. They just want to give up, move on, force you into programs, into this, into that. There's no accounting for anything, no time for anything. There's no let me prepare somebody for something. Don't you come in here and start barking down. That's what they do. You lay in a bed there over and over you. They're kind of talking down to you just by the nature of where your position, where they're standing. They're just talking down to you. Of course, you come in a room, you're kind of sitting down too, you know. It feels like they're hovering over you, you know. They come in as a team, you know. They come in as a huddle up. Let's go down there and deal with these people, you know. And you say anything, and then somehow you're the bad person. No, it's not the way this works. Same with America. Because we don't agree to something, or we don't like something, or we don't live our values are not your values, and we just don't care, then we're the bad person. No matter how much money we spend in the world, no matter how much we come bail you out, rescue your country, no matter how much you hate us, you think I get hatred all the time for the America First from across the world. You know, they hate our soldiers, they hate our government, they hate the people. They just cause like I don't care. You may hate it, but everybody wants to get here, or most people do. And if they don't, that's fine too. I don't care. I just don't care. Never have tried to be a crowd pleaser. People say, don't you have any self-respect? I threw that away a long time ago. I am what I am by the grace of God. Amen. I don't need somebody's self-help tips and all that on how to be, this or that, apologetic and compromising to the world. Not me, baby. I'm never have been about that. Never will. If we can get along and accomplish things across the world, fine. But if we can't, that's fine too. You know what? We don't need you. You need us. That's just facts. Greed has taken us into places we should never be. Power, greed by others have led us into the mess across this land. We suffer while others gain the fruits of our labor. Hundreds of millions of dollars, billions, in some cases in the trillions. That's on the backs of hardworking Americans. There are still some of us that are hardworking Americans. You get up every day and go to work. Work long. Work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Take care of families. We make sure we take the time to vote. To stay knowledgeable. I don't know how we accomplish all we do because there's not only so many hours in a day. You just keep, rolling up the sleeves and going at it to be a good American. Then you got some jacklegs comes along and tells you that, you suck. You suck as a nation. Well, shut up. We don't care. That's my attitude tonight. Don't care. Now we have a president who feels the same way. For decades, it's been just appease. Talk down to us. Remember Obama's apology tour? My God, did I get so mad at that. Going around the world, telling the world, we agree with you, America sucks. We're bad. We're horrible. Don't go apologizing around the world. We got nothing to apologize for. If we've been heavy for some reason, it's because we got hit in the face and we struck back. You know what? Don't poke the bear. Things are going to happen. We're not perfect, but by gosh, we're the best game running. That's the way I look at it. America. What's it, live it or leave it? You know, why not? If you hate it, get out. Yeah. I invited a guy to leave my house one time. He was telling me how stupid I was. Wait a minute. You're in my house. Well, that's stupid. The way you did that's stupid. Yes, you know what? You're only here because of a friend. You're invited to leave. And guess what? Don't ever come back. We do that, right? Somebody comes in your house and they call you stupid. I can't believe you did it that way. You know, I can't believe you built that way. Why did you paint it that color? Why did you do this? That's stupid. Okay, see ya. Just go away. Don't ever come back. Just go away. I'm sorry that we met. I'm really sorry now. But we don't ever have to meet again. Just leave. That's the way the country ought to be. You don't like it, we'll leave. You don't like our values. You don't like that we're, still a Christian nation. You don't like that we got the best military in the world. You don't like that's tough. You wished you had it. We don't talk correctly sometimes. The little do-gooders with their little fingers in the air as they drink their tea. And they mock us, the ignorant Yanks. Yeah, but who bails you out? Who backs you up? America, baby. President Trump making changes. Hey, he got an airplane today. Super big jet. Cutter, the royal family. Oh, they're having a cow over that, right? It's going to be retrofitted, all the security features. Who does this? It's just we never seen anything like this. The president. Oh, they're out. Is this ethical? Is this illegal? And all this stuff. My gosh, he's bringing it home. We're going to fix it up as Air Force One. Then it's over. It'll be part of the President Donald J. Trump Presidential Library. This is awesome. I wonder where he'll put the library. He dang sure probably ain't going to New York. Ain't no way. He's got to be Florida, right? I mean, there is no way the Donald J. Trump Presidential Library be going to New York. Ain't no way. Well, wherever they get, they're going to have a lot of land because this big old plane, super jet from Qatar, will be housed there. A 747-8 jumbo. Who does that? We never hear about that. We heard about, people getting paychecks, the 10% for the big guy and all that. Comes back with a plane. It's all above board. I love it. They're going to transfer it at the end of his term to the foundation overseeing his yet to be built presidential library. That's the coolest thing. Remember going to Memphis, and going on Elvis's plane. A couple of them. Bigger, smaller, going on the planes. Checking out all the things. We'll get to do that one day if we live long enough, we get to go see. They get all that set up. Boy, the talking heads will just be hating that. He got a jet. Oh, man. All Biden ever got was they had their hand out for more money. The pallet loads. Backdoor deals. President today made major news. You've probably seen that. He says, by gosh, wherever the cheapest pharmaceuticals are in the world, we'll match it. That's the way it's going to be for Americans. That's what I'm talking about. Some of those things can be incredibly expensive, right? Hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, depending on certain drugs. Now, maybe some of them we don't need. Maybe some of them there are. I don't know. But that's nice. The lowest price anywhere. There are little slogans different box stores had. We match, price match. I don't know how they check it. I mean, I don't know how that works. I mean, if there's some little bitty country, we have La Cineprel for 50 cents. I don't know how they match that. I don't know how they do that, but I'm all in. I hope it works. I'm all in. I think of the seniors, those on fixed incomes, they're the ones that get screwed. Let's face it. Let's just say it. This isn't say it like it is not. They're the ones that get screwed. They can't afford it. They start cheating on their medicine because they can't afford to live. and then they end up could probably live a lot longer or even be cured, but they start not taking their medicine, not even feeling it, and they just go as long as they can. The people that should be getting eased into those last years of their life, they're stressed out. They can't get what they need. They can't get the care they need. They can't get the medications they need. They can't afford it. Between that and eating, and now that having a home, somewhere they can live. And these people that have paid in all their lives, at the end of the day, now they're too old to work, and they're on this fixed income, and they just get ripped every which way. They get especially our vets. It's just sick. We're going to be taking care of our elderly. Bible speaks about that. We need to be taking care of those folks. And with the boomer population, we've got more and more of them. There's not enough even places if they needed to go to a home. They're having to build more now because they're over, they're just populated out. There's so many boomers that are retiring now. I'm just outside the boomer crowd 1 year. I'm close enough I could almost be considered one, but I'm not. My wife is. She's part of that. We're on the very tail end of that. But that group is big, and it has had an effect on the country for some time. But I like it. Executive action. U.S. gets lowest price anywhere. Price match reminds me of the one of those insurance commercials. I like it. The president's encouraged. This is one, the Iran nuclear talks, encouraged. I don't know what the plans are. I'm never encouraged when it talks about Iran. Never encouraged. Always lying, always changing the game. Anybody that's funneling that much money into terrorism, I'm encouraged. But, he's the president, not me. I hope it works out. It better work out, because Israel, if not, is going to be launching a massive attack on them. That's going to come. Trying to get agreements between India and Pakistan over Kashmir. Pushing for a deal there. Man, the world is heating up. Imploring Russia and Ukraine, stop the bloodshed. Peace now. It's got to stop. Putin is actually open now to a face-to-face with the little man. Yes, Zelensky. We'll see. Hot spots all over the world. We got to get a handle on it. We have to get a handle on it. These two nuclear powers, India and Pakistan, lots of people involved. Not good. Not good for the world. I don't know how you fix that. I mean, they're both arguing over land. That's what it always is, right? It's my land. It's your land. It's nobody's land. It's no man's land. And one guy. I mean, there's the islands that Russia and Japan fight over. Of course, Mexico would like to claim that half of the southwestern United States is theirs. Too bad. I'm not giving it back. It's ours. All the people that live in America, they're citizens, they're trying to give away, Southern California and, parts of Arizona, Texas, and all that back to Mexico. Shut up. We're giving it back. It's ours. They were more than too happy to hand it over. We kicked their butt back in 46 to 48. That would be 1800s. That's the price you pay for military activities against America. Good evening, Brother Jerry. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for asking. By the way, I'm sorry I missed your call the other night. I was in the middle of a show, I think, when you called. She is getting somewhat better. Oh, God, she still looks like she was in a major car wreck. Who could have ever figured that falling down would cause that much damage? It just looks like it hurts. This is where the argument started yesterday. Yesterday. Anyway, she's going to rehab from the hospital. just got to get a few things in place. They'll work with her, help her get there, and hopefully she'll get back home in just a few days. Just a few days. All the family, most of the family's been up seeing her today, and she's resting. Thanks for asking, man. It's been a tough few days, a very tough few days. It started with the action of the fall itself, and then just a comedy of errors, lunacy. You're still in Emory. Bless your heart, brother. Prayers to you, man. By the way, I showed my wife that, I took a picture. I don't think I got it posted back up. Your plate looked a whole lot better than her plate, although I think they have run a little bit different diet. They've been amping hers back up. I don't know what it tasted like, dude, but that looked like pretty good food. I mean, if I was hungry, I could eat that. I'm a pretty picky guy. But that looked pretty good. I mean, some mashed potatoes and green beans and some meat, gravy covered there. Hey, I like that. She had like a noodle and beef tips kind of thing going on. You've been there since last Monday. Well, I hope you'll be able to bust out soon, brother. Bust out. I know it's a great hospital, but hey, I know you'd rather be at home. Get all them tests done, whatever they're going to do. Get you back home. Get you back to God's country over there. All that good food you cook over there. Your church. Praying for you, man. Thanks for asking. I really, really appreciate it. We've had so many people contact us, mention the streams, emails, texts, Facebook notifications, whatever. Thanks so much. It's pitiful. It's just break your heart to see your wife or your husband or kid or mama, daddy, whoever like that. It was a hard hit. I mean, it's just funny how you don't realize how quickly life can change. We just don't think about it. It's just stuff that happens. And that's why we do say live every day. One, be ready to leave this earth. Be ready to meet your maker. Know that you are going to go to that glorious place called heaven. Because you never know when your life may be required. And then secondly, live each day like it's your last. I know we say that. We're all guilty of sometimes not doing that. But some days you just feel like you've done all you can do. And it has been a full day. You end the day and it's a satisfying feeling. And you think, well, I hope I got a lot more days like this. But if I don't, this was a great day. Even if you're working and stuff, I mean, you felt satisfying. It's like you hit all the points. You told you saved for the rainy day. You worked hard. You made some money. And you enjoyed your life experiences with your family. You reached out to people you hadn't talked to in a while. You told people you loved them. You made great decisions. You didn't act like a dummy. You start out your day defeating your self. Self always gets us in trouble, right? Get humble. Have a great day. And some days you fall, spiritually and physically. Some days you're in that hospital or you're chained down spiritually. Those are not fun days, but we can also use them in powerful ways. I've seen a few people over the last 3 days that, I believe they need Jesus. And they need Jesus bad. I met some other people who's just exuding the Spirit of God. Just amazing. Killing it. It's been a blessing to see. Really proud of my family. The grandkids, son, other family members that have really stepped up, been there, going to the hospital, spending time taking things, helping her. It's a lot to take care of someone. We all of us are independent. We don't like that. Unless we're, just one of those lazy people that like everybody do everything for you, including work. It's good. It's good to see that come out because a lot of times 10% do, you know how it goes. But yeah, and I appreciate the education that people have and their knowledge. But don't come barking down my back. They might not have saw it that day. That's the way I saw it. It's like, oh, stop, Ola, time out. Whoa, what the heck? What are you doing? Then trying to make me out like there's something wrong with me? No. I'm not one of those mindless people that are going, oh, okay, yeah, what? Sure, whatever. No, sometimes you got to stop the train. Pull the cord. Stop this train. Let me talk to conductor. Something's not right. We're getting it fixed right now. Some people just go through life like that. Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm just going to die. Or I got to do this. I have to do that. I got to put this in my body. What? Don't ask. Okay, sure. Ask questions, man. Don't let them put you through the pipe and just spit you out. Have a plan. Work the plan. Never let people tell you that what you got left ain't no good. That's a lie. That's a lie. As you get older, you slow down. You get a little more, not going as much. There's still value. Still value. Remember them death squads? Death squads that out there, they like to just push you on over the cliff. Well, we've already got a bunch of money invested in you. You're kind of used that body up. There's that group out there. They're in the back rooms. They're the ones pushing the pieces around the board like a military strategist. Okay, well it's all about the money. Let's face it, it's all about money. Care and compassion, that's not what's coming from the top. No. Let's just recognize it for what it is. Those are catchphrases. There are people. Yes, there are people that care about your health. There are people that care about your feelings. There are people that care about you even beyond themselves in the healthcare industry or whatever it is. But the people that are pushing the dollars, you're just a number. Come on. It's like military. At the very top, they're just moving troops around. They're moving, okay, we need another 10,000 troops over here, They don't know you. Find the people that know you and care about you. Join with them because they're the ones that really know you. To everybody else, we're a number. It's just reality. Except to God. God knows everybody. He knows the number of hairs on your head, right? I don't have as many now. There's still quite a few up there. The president says, the secretary for the president outlines an air traffic system overhaul. Can we just get radars that don't shut off for 30 seconds at a time? How nice would that be to be on a plane flying around? You're coming in, you're in they've got you circling around the airport. They're trying to get you to runway heavy 48 or whatever. Okay, flight A6735. Could you go down to? Oh, wait a minute! I've lost you. In fact, I've lost everybody. Everybody, hold attention, attention. I can't see any flights. Maintain speed, height, altitude. Well, we were already coming for a landing. Proceed. My God, can you imagine? Reminds me of that scene in Summer Rental. One of my favorite. It didn't win any awards, and it wasn't one of his biggest movies, but it's one of my favorites. Summer Rental, John Candy. He's the Atlanta air traffic controller. He's stressed out. That's the idea of why he goes on the summer, vacation. There's a fly on his screen. He's lost the flight. God says, man, you're cracking up, man. You're being given a mandatory, so much time off, and he needed it. But that was just being stressed out, and a fly landed on the radar screen. Can you imagine not having any radar? Think of how long 30 seconds is. Doesn't sound like much. Think about 30 seconds and how fast planes are flying. They make that sound like, 30 seconds, I know there's people going down the road, they're looking at their phone for 30 seconds while they're trying to drive, text, all over the road. 30 seconds in the air, flying at several hundred miles an hour. It'd be like going down on the ground and go down a country road. You're on the country road. All of a sudden, all lights go out. I've actually seen that happen before. Something happened with the electrical system. All of a sudden, there's no lights. You're like, whoa, pitch black. That's for them. That's what it is. They have no idea where the planes are. I mean, where they were, they're not there anymore. And how do you remember I don't know how many each one's responsible for. What if you're responsible for 10 planes or 20 amongst maybe 100 or 200 or whatever? It's coming in and out of view, takeoffs and landings. I mean, you can ground the ones on the ground. Don't take off until it clears. What about ones in the air? What about the ones that are coming in? They're on approach. Now they've got their own instruments, sure. But what if it's bad weather? Instrumentation, maybe it's not working correct. Something happens, and you need tower to back you up. Okay, what do you see me at? I'm sorry, I can't see you. Let me look out the window. Bad idea. They need to fix that. So it happened once recently. It happened again. I wonder how many times it happened. Nobody's really said much. I wonder if it's being said more because President Trump is in office. Makes you wonder. Anyway, I would hate to be in that situation. I would hate to be in the air. Nobody knows where I'm at. We're up there somewhere. And thank God it was only 30 seconds. I mean, it could have been worse. What if it was, 5 or 10 minutes? People are like, we're getting a little low on fuel up here and flight, this Delta flight. We need to come in quickly. I mean, we're kind of on fumes. Well, brother, I don't even know where you're at. I don't know I don't know. I mean, I can't see. Just totally blind. And how do you know so? It's not going to be another helicopter come flying across the flight path or a single engine plane or something like that as you're trying to come in. Let's think about it. I mean, it's how bad that could have been. It's hectic enough with the radar. I mean, you can pull that up on the computer. I mean, you can see the flights out there. This is where they're at. I mean, basic information. We may not have the system that tells everything they have, but you can pretty much see a lot of that info and just how heavy it is over the United States at any one moment. Just how many flights are in the air. It's just pretty incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So I don't know. Hamas says they're going to give up the last hostage. American-Israeli hostage, Eden Alexander. Might that be because Israel said they're fixing to just annihilate Hamas? Maybe a little delay tactic here. Hey, we still got one of you guys here. Hold on. We'll give him up. No concessions. No demands. Well, sure. You're fixing to get, hell on earth is fixing to be unleashed on you. It already has. It's going to get worse. Yeah. I know. I've heard that even the legacy media was critical. Jill. It's over, babe. Doctor. Poor Joe. Joe was so happy. He was spending a lot of time on the beach anyway. Kept David the beach. Driving his car with all the records were in the garage and all that. He just wanted to live life. He was, like I say, he was checked out. I mean, really checked out. To him, it was like ice cream, yeah, beach, yeah, let's go. I mean, I don't care for the guy's policies whatsoever, but let the man just go on. You know what? I don't know how long he's got left. It's probably not many years, if we could even say a year. We don't know for any of us, but certainly him. Just quit pushing. I mean, come on, let the man rest. I'm just glad he's gone. What's done is done. Let's roll back those pardons. Let's convict some people. Yeah, we need some perp walks. Who's got the auto pit? Who was doing that? What, Joe's eating the ice cream out on the beach? The Camp David. Who did that? I want those people in jail. I want those pardons rescinded by the court. It can't be legal. Just let Joe go to break, a permanent break. I mean, I don't mean like permanent. But no, I mean go relax somewhere. Go sit on the front porch. You know, keep him away from certain things. I won't mention those. Can't let it. You got to have some, parameters. I got some borders up. It's like being in a hospital bed. They don't want you falling. They got to put the different things up to keep you locked in. Was at the hospital today. My granddaughter's reading the. I love. There's one thing about being a grandpa is raising a grandpa like me, raising a granddaughter, is she has picked up because of me. There's certain things that she's beyond her years in certain ways. In some ways, she should probably be further down the road because of me. I mean, it's a two-way street, I'm a little goofy, but I've taught her some things. One is to be, pay attention to stuff. There's stuff that a lot of people just go through life. I didn't pay no attention. She's actually at the hospital reading the boards. I'm the guy that does that. I'll stop and I'll read like the employee, things they put on the board about, why it's important, why you're important, why their family's important, little sayings, Anyway, she's asking me questions about the falling, why is that big? Why they got that up there? A lot of kids, I mean, not that she don't have her moments where she's watching her videos and dancing, and she's a kid, and I want her to be a kid. But at the same time, this kid pays attention like who parks in handicap parking because that's the influence I've had on her. She looks for the tag. She looks for the little hang tag and the tag. She's looking at these people as they get out of the car. She's willing to give the benefit of the doubt. She sees a bunch of kids jump out. They're jumping around, partying, laughing, acting silly. Them people ain't supposed to be parking there. That's because of my influence. So today she's looking at the hospital, like, hey, what's this? Still looking at TikTok, I don't have TikTok, I don't think, but no, I'm trying to think of which one she has. It's the other one. But anyway, she's she follows a lot of the podcast. Like she comes in the podcast. But she's reading this thing that's about falls. That's why, in the hospital, that's the big scare. That's the thing to measure you on. Injuries, falls. A lot of people fall at hospitals, a lot of lawsuits. Brosky Bear. Joe's getting his diaper changed. Yellow pen was getting used. No doubt. So anyway, they don't want you falling, but you got to put some borders up for Joe. It's funny, Joe didn't like borders. Let him come on. I don't think he knew what he was doing anyway. But anyway, in his life now, he has to have borders for him, for himself. There's things we got to keep him away from. He can get hurt. He'd go wandering off. They're Mr. President, this way. They have to grab him by the arm, lead him, hold his hand. You did so good, Joe. You answered all the questions. God. Who gets talked to like that? If my wife did me like that, I mean, I'd be at the side going, hey, don't do that. I appreciate your support. You can tell me later. You can feed my ego. Tell me later, but wait for microphones and cameras. Let's not talk about that right here. And don't blow smoke. I suck to be part of that. I wonder if Joe ever told her that. I wonder if Jill's going on, yeah. You did so good, Joe. This is great. I'm just going to keep pushing you out there. You're doing great. What if Joe ever turned to her and said, really? I thought I sucked tonight. I mean, they were laughing at me. Even Trump was looking at me, but turning his head sideways like, I don't even know what he just said. You don't think he didn't talk to her about that later? I mean, was he that far gone? Did he get Jill to the side and go, look, I appreciate what you're saying here. Yeah, I did. I answered all the questions. Right, that's right, Jill. But why did Trump say that about me? He said, I didn't know what I was saying because he didn't know what I was saying. I mean, come on now. Enough's enough. Love to be a fly on the wall. Joe, you did so good. Is that the same cheerleading they give him for the boo-boo? Joe, just saying. Joe, you did good. It's a twofer. I don't know. Because that's the way that sounded to me. There's no way to clean that up. Oh, not good choice of words. You know what I mean? It's amazing. It's sad, amazing. Superpower. The greatest country on the face of the planet. Sounds like one of those Wild Kingdom shows. And now, folks, now viewers, we zoom in on the pride of lions. Notice how this lion is stalking its prey to feed to the rest of the little lions. I could just imagine decades to come. Look, kids, this was an American president. Look at how they had to hold his hand. You know, in the animal kingdom, Joe wouldn't have made it, right? Right? Because what happens? They're all down to watering hole. They're all down to water hole. Oh, there's danger. They got that great sniffer. Another bad choice of words. The smells in the air. Danger. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. And they all take off. Boom. They're running in a pack. And the prey comes up. They see that old one, that sick one, that young one, that the tiger, the cheetah, the whatever, strikes its victim, takes it down by the neck. Lunch. Joe would have never made it out. And you know Jill wouldn't have been standing there holding his hand. She'd have been like, I'm out of here. Joe, in the animal kingdom, Joe would have never made it to 4 years. For those that say, well, President Trump probably couldn't run that far either. Yeah, but he's a tough SOB. He would have turned and took down the prey and clubbed it to death. Stood over it. So that's what you get. Told the rest of them, you want some of this? Oh, you know, the world, you know, we're all this fear, and you know, God is watching us and looking down in every aspect of our lives. But doesn't it feel like we are the ones inside the cage sometimes? You know, the keepers are watching us. It's like, okay, remember the Star Trek? It was like Star Trek, and the planet where they couldn't, there was really no bars, but they thought there was. So in their mind, they couldn't get out. But it was, they were studying them, and they would do different things, different stimuli, you know, introduce pain, laughter, whatever. They're all studying. That's all they're doing. I kind of feel like it's so like that sometimes. Like, okay, now life was going good for you. Let's open cage number 3. And a vicious beast is now going to run up behind you, stalk you, and take you down. Now, how does this human perform? Joe didn't perform well. What about Jasmine Crockett? You know, somebody come in the chat one day, a couple weeks ago, maybe not even a full 2 weeks ago. And no disrespect if you're watching. And said, I asked him to come back, we'd talk. They thought that Jasmine Crockett was the greatest thing to come out of the state of Texas in a long, long time. Their words, not mine. They didn't like some things I was saying. Why do you know, what do you got against her? What has she done? Da 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 da. Did you hear the comment today that she made of the mystery person that all the people are on the Democrats their money's flowing to, and they got this one singular candidate that they're going to back to take out you know, the Republicans and, you know, J.D. Vance or whoever when the time comes. That they've did you hear a reference to that? What she said about it? Can you imagine if that was spun around and a Republican said that the other way? Can you imagine what would have happened? My gosh, I can't. The gall of these people and the things they say, which that's the way they think. They're just saying it, and they know there's going to be absolutely no penalty for talking that way. If you don't know the story, just go pull it up. It's out there. I really don't want to repeat it because I might get flagged on some of the streams. Some of them don't care. I could probably, just go look it up. You can kind of get from what I said. If you haven't seen it, you probably figured it out. That type of candidate that they've got to have. They can't do it the other way because they fail every time. They lose. We're going to get that candidate. We're going to get them out there, out front. And they're going to win, baby, win for the home team. So look what she had to say. It just baffles me how some of these people get away with talking like that. Way the world goes. Oh. So Brodsky Bear, I was thinking about you and being Catholic and the new Pope. Have you ever been to one of those meetings where the Pope was at? He's done quite a few in America. I mean, over the years. I have a friend that went to Yankee Stadium and had the Pope was addressing people there. They put in there as many people as they could legally, I guess. And it was a big deal for him. There's a friend of mine. He visits all the presidential libraries, by the way, or he tries to. Ain't it kind of bad for the first presidents? I mean, ain't it bad? Like George Washington, how great he was. Where's the George Washington Library? I mean, I know there's university, but where's his library? Thomas Jefferson. That's a thing that's really just happened over the last few decades. Get your library. How nice is that? Get a library. Thousands of books. You get exhibits. Like your legacy goes on. You get to highlight those things that you were passionate about as a president. Your official papers. What they can get a hold of, or at least copies or whatever, goes in the presidential library. That'd be cool. I mean, eventually it would be. Can you imagine the cost of that? I mean, if we could all, I would, if they could make them all where it wasn't a drain on the taxpayers of America. It'd be cool if all of them had one. I mean, most of them in California. That's where a lot of presidents have came from, and of course Illinois and up at the East Coast. There's a few out there in the Midwest, I think it is. But I'd love to go. But I mean, you go to California, you can knock out a good portion of the ones that actually have libraries. I think it's pretty cool. I would like to go to one. I have one not that far from me, and I've made a go. I'm going to go and check it out. Not that they were my favorite president, but it's a chance to go and see a presidential library. And so I would love to do that. If you're looking for that article, and I flipped around to different news sites, but I know that one is covered by Fox. So she doesn't say who the person is, by the way. A lot of speculation who they're looking at. But I was just flipping through some different news sites, and there it was. She strikes again. Also, the president, news today, wants to build a national center for homeless veterans with funds previously spent on housing for illegal aliens. Yes. And that should not even be a sentence, right? A designation. Homeless veterans? No way. No way should our veterans be homeless. I'm not saying anybody should. I mean, these are the people that served and helped defend your country. There's another executive order, a National Center for Homeless Veterans, with redirected funds previously spent on services for illegal aliens. He ordered the Secretary of Veteran Affairs to establish the National Center for Warrior Independence on the Veteran Affairs campus in West Los Angeles. Los Angeles has approximately 3,000 homeless veterans. Just Los Angeles, 3,000. more than any other city in the country, and accounting for about 10% of all homeless veterans in America, according to the White House. The new National Center for Warrior Independence will help them and other veterans like them rebuild their lives, the White House said. The center will also allow veterans from around the nation to seek and receive care, benefits, and services to which they are entitled, the White House said. The order directs funds previously spent on housing, other services for illegal aliens, to constructing, establishing, maintaining the new center. The center will promote self-sufficiency through housing, substance abuse treatment, and support for productive work for the veterans housed there. It said the goal is to house up to 6,000 homeless veterans at the center by 2028. Kudos. We hear this a lot. And get them some mental help. The 22 a day, which is probably more than that, of our veterans. We need a lot of help for our veterans. They will use vouchers to support homeless veterans and instructs the Secretary of Veterans Affairs to restore accountability to the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA. The VA. It instructs the VA to take action against individuals who have committed misconduct and to investigate and rectify the Biden administration's decision to, quote, rehire and reinstate back pay for employees previously fired for misconduct. The order also ensures that veterans will have access to increased options for care, benefits, and services, including reduced wait times at VA or Veterans Health Administration appointments through options such as expanded hours, weekend appointments, and virtual health care. Very nice. Very nice, Mr. President. Very nice. He has this great relationship with the military, and the left hates it. They absolutely hate that. So we'll see. There's a lot of landmines for the president in the GOP, just in the GOP. There's a lot going on. There certainly is out there. One look no further than my own state, the state of Georgia. Just look how things are progressing or not progressing, the attacks that are going on here. We're going to try to cover a lot of this in the next couple of weeks, the goings on in Georgia. We've not covered it as much as probably we should have. We try to be fair across the country, but we really need to look into what's going on in Georgia. Lots of issues. And the president did give his verbal support to Josh McCoon. Ooh, ouch. There's a lot of people don't like him in this state. I know some of them. I'll be one of them. I'm not a fan of them. But the president may be receiving, like I said, there's some people in his midst that are feeding him information that may or may not be the top of information that we need. A couple more things and we'll get off here for now. We got, by the way, the morning show, Rob and Dave. Tomorrow Night Mama Said. I'll get back into those shows. Jeb and Bubba Show, episode 2, just released this afternoon. It is aired. It is out there. You can go back and watch it. Iran's Ayatollah is actually trying to murder the president, says Senator Ted Cruz. Wow. Well, I don't trust him. I really don't trust him. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the Iranian people. I'm talking about the Ayatollahs. Those folks that are radical, supporting terrorism, threatening the world with nuclear bombs. I'm not a fan. I am just not a fan. Let's see here. U.S. and China struck trade deal after productive talks. So they're trying to get, there's some adjustments coming to the tariffs and some of the trade deals that they're trying to put in place. And by the way, on the drug prices, he says slashed up to 80%. That's great. I really hope that. Zelensky agrees to meet with Putin on Thursday. So we will see what happens as we go forward with this. Oh, well, we're going to get to bed. We'll learn a bit. We're going to get off here. Thanks for everybody being here. We appreciate it. And thanks for your thoughts and prayers. See, unlike the left, who says you can keep your thoughts and prayers, I thank you for them because I know the value of them. One, that you took time to even think about our situation. This is a lot. Everybody's got something. And the fact that you offered prayers means a lot. Means an absolute lot to me. And keep Brother Jerry in your thoughts there at the hospital. People have lost loved ones recently, especially today, Mother's Day. All you moms, God bless you. Some people just lost their mom. And that's hard. It's always hard. It never gets easier, really. Let's pray for those folks. Let's pray for the moms that are struggling. Maybe they're drugs. Maybe it's life, trying to, keep their kids or need a job, need a place to stay. Maybe they're in an abusive relationship. Maybe they are the abuser in the relationship. There's a lot of things that could be going on. Let's pray for our moms. Pray they'll be able to kick these bad habits, get out of bad situations, get themselves fixed, and have a great relationship with their kids, or maybe that's not been there. And a whole lot of forgiveness. That's something we don't have a lot of supply in America sometimes is more and more people are not forgiving. They're very bitter, angry, holding grudges. Let's always be ready to extend forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean you just get abused over and over again. But we must forgive. It eats us alive. It absolutely does. Hey, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll go out with some music. Let's pray for the president, by the way. There's a lot going on in his world, always. I think he's trying to be as transparent as he can with what's going on. But even beyond that, we can read between the tea leaves and see there's a lot of major issues going on. And it'd be nice to see a couple of those closed up pretty quick. This Pakistan-India thing, Russia-Ukraine, be nice. And third on that list would be hostages in Gaza and what to do there. Let's get moved on to other things. And hopefully that will, flatline out and we won't even be affected by it. Because it's gonna be a long, long time for healing. A lot of bad stuff. God help these people. Everybody wants war until it comes to their back door, or they're having to pay for it. Very sad. But it's been good to be here. Wanted to get a show in before we go to bed. Working on a lot of things. Getting ready to ship some things. Big news coming. Take care, my friends. God bless and salute.